first of all, let's put this gospel reading into some context here. We have the opening line here where it says, Jesus departed from there and came to his native place. Well, where did he depart from? He was leaving from Capernaum. He kind of set up his ministry up in Capernaum. And that's where he did a lot of his healings, a lot of his miracles performed in the city of Capernaum. And Capernaum was in a Gentile land. And he comes home for a visit. That home being Nazareth, the place where they knew him. They knew him as the carpenter's son. And it's interesting because the first half of this gospel passage, if you look in the same gospel, the Gospel of Mark, in chapter 1, the healing of Jesus heals a person with a demon. The opening lines are very similar. You have both towns just amazed. They're going, where did this man come from? What kind of wisdom has been given him? And what mighty deeds are wrought by his hand? But in Capernaum's case, after witnessing the healing of the demoniac, they go out rejoicing, declaring the Lord, declaring his praises and gifts. But in his hometown, the town where he grew up, they couldn't see beyond his own human nature. And that kept the citizens of that town from truly believing the miracles that he can perform, that he is actually sent by God to heal all of us. And I think the same thing plays out in our daily lives. The French theologian Henri de Lubac, who was a great influence in Vatican II, would talk about the rise of modern secularism coming from this separation of nature and grace, the clear division between the two. And the fact that human nature is completely independent on its own and does not need anything with grace, has led to the rise of Marxism, of Hitler's rise to power, that focus just on human nature. And that temptation still rises within our society today. That focus of just to think of Jesus as another human, as one who is just a good example for all of us to follow. And we focus sometimes way too much on that, and we forget about the sacredness of Jesus Christ. And that need to hold the two in tension together. Because Henri de Lubac would always say we have to hold both Jesus the human and Jesus the Son of God in tension together. And I think that's what happens today in our gospel, is that they just saw him as the child on the street. It's like coming home to visit your parents, and they still treat you like a little child, which still happens to me every time I go home. But our call today is to recognize Jesus, not only as a man, but as the Son of God, as he gives himself to us here on this altar. And to think of how we pay attention to those sacred moments in our life, those grace moments in our life. What happens here at the altar, that it's just not merely a symbol. That Eucharist is just not merely a symbol of Jesus' body and blood, but it's truly his body and blood given for all of us here today. So our challenge today is to think about the sacredness in our life, the graces that flow from us, how Christ is interacting with us each and every day, that he's not just another man, but he is truly the Son of God.
Good morning. Oh yeah, it's very cold.
Hello, OLPH. My name is Mary Lynn Januszewski, and I'm the Director of Finance and Operations at Our Lady of Perpetual Help Parish in Glenview, Illinois. And this message comes to you with heartfelt gratitude and thanks for your ongoing generosity and support of OLPH Parish. This overwhelming generosity allows us to continue to serve and to minister to the parish community in different ways. So thank you, OLPH, for all you do. You are much appreciated.